desperation. But how far will that get the visitors today? We will take a look at their opponents and the reigning Six Nations champions England first. Sweeping changes by the head coach John Mitchell. In the forwards, just a second cap for Loughborough Lightning's Lily Ives Campion in the second row. She's lining up alongside Saracens' Rosie Galligan for this one. Meanwhile, into the backs, it's another Loughborough player that actually catches the eye. Helena Rowland, she wears the 10 jersey for the first time in 2 years. Now, the new Italy coach, Fabio Rosselli, has slightly tinkered around the edges of his squad. It's a big day for Laura Gurioli, who will be relishing the chance to start at hooker, while Francesca Scorbini wears 8 in the absence of Elisa Giordano, who is once again injured. And as we move into the backs, much of the focus is on that centre partnership of Beatrice Oregone and Alicia Dinka. And now we do normally see Dinka on the wing. She has played in the centres before, but this is a real opportunity for us to see her show off her skill set. Now, there are debuts aplenty if given the opportunity off the benches. You've got Robinson and Shekels for England, and also Bitonci for Italy. She'll be wearing 21. Well, they're just settling in here in York. High time to say a very good afternoon to Brian Moore. Now, it's a big year for England, and ultimately, could their greatest opponent, Brian, be the weight of expectation?
Well, certainly they'll be aware of what is coming, but that's a macro level about which they can do nothing now. It's a consequence of what they do on a micro level now, which means getting the unit skills right, getting the individual skills right, and setting their own standards of performance individually.
Fabio Rosselli watching on, as our referee today is Zimbabwe's Precious Pisani. We are moments away now from England against Italy, the final match in round 1 of the 2025 Women's Six Nations. England, of course, chasing a 7th title in a row. Italy dreaming perhaps of past glories, but with that new coach keen to write a new chapter. As Ostuni Manuzzi gathers the ball in the backfield. Stefan Madia. I think everyone in York heard that absolute clatter. Madia just getting stuck. Big run this time by Sayet. Plays her rugby in Premiership Women's Rugby for Ealing. Slight juggle of the ball for Locatelli. Madia just trying to get that moving. Rigoni not quite accurate with the passing and puts Ostuni Manuzzi under huge pressure. Same also for Granzotto. And all that pressure, just look where we've ended up. Katie Daly-McLean.
Hello. I mean, we look at Italy, and this is what is so frustrating. They have so much potential and such good players, but one error. We see here, she just doesn't look like who she knows she's hitting. And then the pressure from McDonald forces an offer that you shouldn't be given, and England get really easy opportunity in the 22.
Let's go, ladies.
If that had gone down, they'd actually been round the corner. They'd have hit the edge there.
Well, an early chance to see a scrum between these two sides. You can see the extra kilograms that England have got over this Italian pack. That will count for an awful lot. And there it goes, it's moving as well. Fenati picks up at the back, and here they flood round the corner. Still England ball. Packer looks up again. Well, rare mistake, there's a bit of confusion there. Singh knows to straighten. Cocaine. Heads down from England, but that blue defensive line of Italy holds for now. Galligan at the bottom of that pile as it comes back once again. Rowland with the distribution, Scorret with the pass out wide. Venner, can she do something? Nice show and go. She's done it all season with Gloucester Hartbury. Packer. Head down again, this time Aldcroft. Big push over by Muir. Popped off ball, Gallagher again goes. Huge numbers out wide, they just need to get it out there, and it does. Try, Venner. Well, it didn't take long. A special moment for Mia Venner. Only her second cap today. She got her first age 17 back in 2020. She's had to wait, but it was worth it.
It really was, and it's really nice play here. Good long passing, but Italy gets so short. They've given England so much space in that wide channel. It's ball in two hands, it's basic stuff. But for me, this is where England come alive. It's quick, it's tempo, and it's easy, isn't it? The ball is stretched. We don't see it, but the work of the forwards to speed up really quick ball, and it's good distribution. We know Holly Aitchison has a great pass, and I'm not sure Mia Venner will score an easier try today.
Well, the Italians were desperately trying to fold in and get the numbers right close to the breakdown when the ball went to the England right. They eventually made it, just meant that they ran out of numbers when the ball back went the opposite way. It's a simple game for England, and Italy, if they don't work harder to fill those gaps earlier, are going to struggle.
Well, that was all the strength from Mia Venner, but let us not forget the significant contribution there of Emma Singh. So much is made. If there is one chink, perhaps, in an English armour, it's a kick, isn't it, Katie Daly-McLean? And that was nailed.
And she's kicked so well for the PW all year. Probably it's got the highest goal percentage this year.
First line up, my mark, half a metre.
Stepping up for this one, Laura Gurioli. She
Open up, open up.
actually isn't Laura Gurioli who's going to take this one. It's Turani. Now, she can play hooker and tight head. She can play across the whole front row. Incredibly versatile. Oh, frustrations there for Italy. That's the kind of thing that they just cannot have today.
No, and it's going to be really important, like you say, Turani thrown in. It's not something you normally see, but can play across the front row. And just one of those where jumper and 9 have just miscommunicated, having their Sophia Stefan is moving away and the jumper's put it in the space she's left. But it's going to be really important for Italy when they get possession that they've got to use it, they've got to get their basics functioning.
Well, I wondered if they were going to start with their 3 best kickers, the halfbacks, and Rigoni, and try and put the England back 3 under pressure, because they've played together very little. And if anything, if they can get territory and try and make something out of that with a decent kick chase, then they might have some, they might be more successful.
This scrum is going to be a problem for Italy. It's a big feather in the cap for England. Here it comes, Roland. McDonald looking for work, out to Venom. Oh, that is lovely. Pins her ears back, oh, can't quite get there. What a tumble, picks up the ball, goes again. Packer, back inside, Scorret is there. 2 tries, not even 7 minutes played. That is Emily Scorret's 55th try in a white shirt.
Not a bad stat, that, is it? She's got over 100 caps, though, so I don't think it's a game every 2. But this is a beautiful first phase. Emily Scorret starts it. She brings in 3 defenders, and then it's good skills. Again, Italy giving England that wide channel. So what a tackle there, though. You think Mia Venner's got into touch. She doesn't. And there, Emily Scorret, again, just pops up, has recycled, has worked hard. But for me, it was all from the first phase scrum move. England, like you said, Sarah, very, very dominant. It's scrum time.
Well, the hush goes round York once again for Singh. Only 7 days since she was lifting the PWR title with Gloucester Hartbury. And that one just kisses the left hand upright, but on the right side. And England now with a full complement of points from their 2 tries. And the question here, Brian, is Italy, they just need to hold on to their ball and at the moment avoid a scrum.
Well, yes, and get their first phase right in terms of the line-out, the only one of which they've managed not to complete. But it's going to be very difficult for them if they can't get successive set phase ball from which they can counter.
Aitchison. Holly Aitchison is wearing 12 today for England. Now, recently, you've seen her at fly half. She has played there before, though. Distribution from Stefan again, but Italy not getting close to that gain line as there's an arm wrestle going on there. England are taking no prisoners at the breakdown for now as Stefan takes her time to get that ball back. They need someone chasing that ball. The one underneath it is easy for Singh. And the pressure is just piling on now. Packer could see an empty backfield. Ostuni Manuzzi is chasing back, as is Stefan. And that one, what a charge down, what a moment. It's a line out for Italy, but that's all about English territory.
This is a great bit of play, isn't it, from Lucy Packer? She knew space was there, but it's the execution to roll it. She doesn't want it to go out because she wants to chase, she wants to squeeze Italy. Really, really smart bit of play then. Sofia Stefan probably in that moment just needs to carry and let Italy build a platform.
Keep right gap. Open up. Four men, four men, four men.
Well, Italy have got it in the air. Good work by Fedrighi. Stefan goes once again. The white wall is proving extremely tricky for Italy to do anything with this ball. They need to find an exit. Well, there is a touch there you heard from our referee, so the foot chase is on. Singh gathers.
No. Okay, you're fine, but they need to roll away. They need to roll. Yeah. Your mark over here.
I think England were a bit lucky there. I thought it was a decent turnover. One of the problems you did tangentially highlight there, so it was the fact that when the ball is slow and Italy are having to commit so many players to win it, all the England players are standing up, and therefore they are 5 or 6 players down when they try to move the ball. So the only alternative is to kick.
Cocaine with her first set of arrows as it goes now to Feanati, wearing number 8 today. John Mitchell just trying out new combinations. Cocaine again.
Holding. First player, number 8. Holding.
Well, that look on Amy Cocaine's face, I'd be nervous to give a penalty against her.
She's not scary, she looks. I think Italy are lucky there because England are carrying so well. All the Italian players are getting left on the England side of the ball, which is making it harder for them, like Brian says, to get anybody on their feet to defend. I think we see it here then from Feanati, what a carry this is. She gets 2-3 players having to haul her down, but because they end up on the other side, they now can't run away, which means Italy can't jackal. Really fast ball for England.
Straight in Cocaine's hands, and it comes down the English back line. Scorret, already a try scorer to Venner. She cuts back inside nicely. Different Packer, Mali Packer. Not related. Heads down from England. They fly over the line. Is it down? No. Held up. Goal line dropout.
Yeah, now. We are trying to defend it.
Okay,
I'll move
away. Thank you.
Please.
Okay.
Well, Beatrice Rigoni there just going in and having a chat with our referee. As Italy just line up and get ready for this goal line dropout.
Well, I think that's 4 out of 5 lineouts that have gone wrong for Italy.
Stay behind the kicker, please.
Quite apart from all their other problems, if you can't secure good first phase ball, then the rest of the game doesn't work.
The play has continued as Amy Cocaine continues to receive treatment to her hand on the near side touch. She's now back on her feet and joining the attacking line. Exeter's Feanati.
Holding.
Well, that's 4 carries now for Feanati, but on that occasion, Italy did just get over the top of that one. Beatrice Rigoni stepping up to take this one. You've worked with Rigoni at Sale. How have you seen her game develop since she's come to play in England, Katie?
Look, I think what Bayer does and how talented she is brilliant. I think for us at Sale, it's just about their moments and about her game management and game understanding. She's got a bag of tricks and she's so confident to use them, but it's just about time and a place. And I think for her, the thing she's developed is that leadership as well, the way she drives standards around the place, and I'm sure she's doing that for Italy as well.
Huge long throw there by Tirani. Well taken at the back. Is this more going to get chucking? Stefan Medea had support on her shoulder from Muzzo. Stefan looks out once again, support in there this time by Duca.
No. When her feet there, stay up.
Just as Italy think they're doing something, the England forwards have a say about that.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because it's a really good decision by Madia to come in there. I mean, she potentially is jumping into that tackle. But here you see Amy Kikaina's on line on the tackler. Italy have got to move that to secure their own ball.
Oh, Gallagher couldn't quite take that one at the back, but it's not gone forwards. Big run there by Kelsey Clifford, wearing one today. Normally a tight head.
Sorry.
The referee just getting in the mix there, so
On me.
they'll just restart that one with an English ball. We've talked a lot about Sylvia Tirani can play across the front row. Kelsey Clifford, we normally see her as a tight head. They're just doing a little bit of treatment at the moment to the Italian fly half, but whilst we wait for that one, Brian, you played hooker. How hard would it be for you to just slot in at a loose head or a tight head? It's not straightforward. These are incredibly talented women.
It is very difficult because you use a completely different set of muscles, for example, from the loose head, which is the left-hand side for the hooker, to the tight head, which is the right-hand side. One is effectively a defensive position where you try and stabilise at loose head so the strike can come in, you keep it there. And the attacking side is the tight head where you try and bore in and put pressure on the hooker and your opposite loose head. So they are completely different ways of doing. Obviously you've got a bit of more of idea if you've played in any of the three, but it still is not simple.
And Katie, do you think Kelsey Clifford playing at loose head today is a way of John Mitchell maybe just trying out his squad ahead of that World Cup, seeing who's the most versatile, because he cannot take as many numbers as he has for this Six Nations to the World Cup?
I think it's interesting. I definitely think as a player, if you're given an opportunity to start that position that isn't your primary position, to say, look, I can maybe do something else, then you take it. I think Kelsey Clifford's really interesting. Going back through the stats, she hasn't started there for Saracens at all, and she's had one bench slot at loose head, so it's definitely not something she's had a lot of exposure to do today. I think to do it on the international scene is also pretty impressive, isn't it? Like you say, shows the talent and the ability of these girls to be able to jump between both positions. It's pretty impressive.
Never fancied the front row, Katie.
Do you know what it is? As I said that, I was frowning all the way through it. Just the thought of it, listening to Brian. No, it's not for me.
Your ears might not like it. So,
I think that's a least of my worries.
well, looking here, England have got, they've got perfect options, both sides, haven't they? Completely split field.
We're back underway. This English scrum has impressed and continues to. Bernati's control at the base, decides to exploit the right, straight into Ragone, Scorret over the top. They continue to flood the right channel. Packer has to take in herself. Still forward ball. A little bit more patience here from England, not trying to force it.
Holding.
And having said that, the forwards just holding on to it for a little bit too long, so Italy get their reprieve.
I've got a question for you, Brian. On that scrum, when England are going so dominant, we see here obviously really good turnover. But if you're the front row and you know you've got that dominance, and then your eights moving the ball a bit early, do you have a quiet word, tap her on the shoulder and say?
You do if it's near the try line. Although what I would say about this and the refereeing is, I like the fact that there hasn't been a penalty just because one team is getting pushed backwards. Far too often you see a team who doesn't commit any offence but is just being beaten actually penalised as well, which is not legal.
Stefan looking up to look for options. Locatelli is there. Again, this is not the end of the field where Italy want to be playing. Stefan with the box kick. Galligan couldn't get a hand to that one. Singh underneath. It was a good chase by Muzzo to make sure that Singh didn't get too far away. Clifford. Galligan again. She's been a busy woman so far this afternoon. Scorret. Rowland. Very flat England back line at the moment as Aitchison finds herself out on the wing. Still England ball. Packer looks up, still options there. It's Galligan again who's taking into contact. Rowland. Bernardi can't take. And all of the excitement, the up and down the line, it's an Italian scrum.
Better defensive set there from Italy, wasn't it? They forced an error. England, I think, we're just saying there, but Clifford has gone so well. Her and Galligan, the amount of carries and work they're getting through, forced a bit of an error there. Bernardi just a little bit flat, a bit urgent to want to get hold of the ball. But I think for Italy, they've got to be happier there.
Well, the carries from England are not only making ground, but they're making, and more importantly, making ground after contact, which means all the Italians have been pulled in initially and then having to retreat, which is a much more, it's only a few yards, but when you have to do it time and time again, it means you simply run out of players, you run out of energy. And I'd just also say, from a psychological point of view, it must be very difficult when you're being pounded and not had any positives to play with for this amount of time. It's nearly a quarter of the game gone.
Well, Italy got rid of that sharpish, and they find a little bit of space. Singh has to just track towards the left-hand side of the field to gather. McDonald into contact. Coming back from her second neck injury, McDonald. Great to see her back in an England shirt. Aitchison, very happy to stand in at first receiver. Rowland out to Bernardi. She's got Venner outside her. Takes two Italian defenders along the floor with her. Galligan. Still English ball. Clifford. Packer is appealing. Wasn't happy there, the scrum half. She goes on a little snipe round the corner and eventually ends up in a knock-on. She was frustrated at the back there with something, Lucy Packer. She wanted something else from her forwards that she wasn't getting.
Quicker ball. I mean, they couldn't give her much quicker ball for the majority of the game. Just shows, doesn't it? It doesn't matter what side you are. If you are getting slow ball, your options are reduced and it is a much more difficult game. If you're like Italy, you're not getting much ball and the ball you do get is slow and you're having to commit more players to actually win it, then it virtually becomes impossible.
Lucy Packer's just re-signed with Harlequins in the last week. A number of the players are coming out at the moment, re-signing as it is the end of the Premiership Women's Rugby season. Got quite a few of the Italian players that now do play in the English League, but the majority of them, we have to say, do still play in Italy. That league is the Women's Elite Serie A. They've still got one round of their regular season matches to go, and then they actually have a playoff final which will happen in May between first and second in the league. At the moment it's Valsugana and Villorba who'll be playing that one off, but Colorno still might have a say in that one. Now they're pumping out the tunes here. There's a little bit of treatment going on to a few players, but I don't think they're going to make any players just say, oh, she's having a great time. I want what she's having. Can someone write down her seat number? Because Brian, Katie, that's where we're going. Final whistle.
That'll be us towards the end of the tournament.
Can't wait. Cannot cannot wait. Right, there's a little bit more rugby we have to get through first. Right then, England started so dominantly in this fixture. 2 quick tries within 3 minutes of each other, but so far Italy have held for the last 10 minutes.
Crouch. Back. Set him.
Well, Italy do well to get that one out again. But the mistake comes. Stefan is almost trying to do too much there at the back because that scrum is going backwards so fast.
It's so hard for her, though, isn't it? You look at the rate of knots at 8 out there. She doesn't have any other decision. And I think what's hard is that really she probably just needs to carry that. But as a 9, she knows she's going to want a box kick.
Again finds her woman, and here comes the drive from England in the middle of it. Aldcroft, the captain, asking for another inch from her side.
Yeah, down by right, yeah, so.
You can see that working through that Seye is causing a problem, but Gallagher's still there with it. And Gallagher's still there. Try number 3. And England now 1 try away from a bonus point.
Well, I thought for a moment that that was going to fail. The ball, usually at the back when it's so exposed, would be poached by somebody, but unfortunately for Italy, they played completely fairly, didn't change the bind, and didn't manage to actually stop us scoring. It's well sealed there. Normally when it comes here, you see the ball gets exposed at the back. Now, you're not allowed to change your bind as a player, and indeed she didn't, but that meant the ball went over uncontested.
It's tough, isn't it? Because a lot of England's tries have come from Italy's errors. At the moment, they're making it easy for England because they're not exiting, they're not getting...
Time off.
Now, I think we are going to check something here. We'll go and listen in to our conversation between Precious Pisani and Aaron Patterson.
Let us come to the screen.
Talking about the grounding of the ball.
Now, they've got quite a run here, the officials team, to the big screen, because they were in one corner and they're having to run all the way over to the other corner. Nothing like a bit of a workout.
Okay,
You'd think from a logistical point of view, it could be in the middle, couldn't it?
I think they're still waiting to get the pictures for Pisani to look at.
Coming now, Precious.
Okay.
Well, waiting for the officials, don't want to interrupt them.
So from there, I'm seeing she knocks on the ball.
I
so
agree.
There's no try there.
Are you happy with the position? Just waiting?
Yeah, just wait.
Are you happy?
So, but blue player comes from the side, so we can go back and restart with a penalty. Happy?
Happy with just a penalty? Get that field position. Zinni, can we have a wide angle to see how that Italian player
Comes into the ball.
Yeah, I'm hearing everything there, girls. Let's get a wide angle for the access.
Okay.
Sorry, entry by the blue player.
Yes.
Well, they're just trying to check on the Italian player who may have dislodged the ball there for Gallagher. They're going to say she definitely knocked it over the line, but it's just how that happened.
Well, it's not the player who's got hold of her arm
she's
there.
swinging around, so changes the bind and comes from the side, so...
that's number 2 in a try scoring position?
Okay. So, Zinni, we're going to go... No.
Just a moment.
Yeah.
Coming to you now.
Okay, thank you, Zinni. So we're going to go no try because it was knocked on. But number 2, blue, changes bind and comes in and tackles the white 4. So,
correct.
Yes, preventing a probable try, so we're going to go penalty try.
Agreed.
Okay.
And a yellow card.
And a yellow card for number 2. Number 2.
Who's in?
Okay.
Blue 2.
Okay, thank you, Zini. Back to me. Okay, captain.
Okay, our referee,
Yes,
Precious
yes,
Pisani, now needs to explain that to Italy, because they're down at the other end of the field. So England are going to be awarded a penalty try. It won't be the Gallagher try. And of course, when it's a penalty try, you get the 5 points and the automatic conversion as well. So they'll go up in 7s. But Italy don't know any of this yet.
Okay.
They're about to find
Captain,
out.
we had a more.
Yeah.
So the first initial try was not scored because they knocked it on. But blue 2 came from the side and was changed bind and made a tackle on number 4, and then she knocked on the ball. Okay. So we're going to go penalty try and yellow card to number 2. Okay.
So Laura Guglioli, she is on her way to the sin bin. A frustration for her as well, because this is her first start in the Six Nations for the Vlhova player. So she makes her way off the field, and what was already a difficult afternoon here for Italy is going to get even more complicated.
It's coming off.
Because we can also see there's another change here. It looks like Veronica Medea, who is the fly half, is making her way off the field, and they're having to bring on Emma Stevanin. So not going well for the Italians so far. Play back underway though. Aitchison has the ball. Packer, Cocaine, popped off to Muir. Gallagher with the little juggle there. Scorret wanted it, but Gallagher did well to hold. Was that a knock-on by McDonald? Referee happy she didn't touch. Cocaine, that was nice.
No! Blue out!
Hanging around at the back there is Roland. She wants someone to chase that. Unable to be taken clearly by Dinka.
Knock on advantage.
Sing. Oh, nice steal in the midfield there by Italy, but we're playing advantage. Tarani can't have that one. We'll restart then with an English scrum.
Something that England had talked about in the week was around this kick to contest. And we see it here. It's a good weighted kick from Helena Rowland there. Very good chase by Mia Venner, and just forces the error, doesn't it? It's an easy turnover possession in a scrum. We know England have been very dominant at it.
It was interesting hearing John Mitchell before the game saying that they wanted to play with a little more restriction and more contested kicks. There's been very few of those actually, but that's simply because what they've been trying to do first up has been working so well.
Natasha Moore.
You can see there was a change there for Italy because they've got that yellow card. They've had to bring on Vittoria Vacchini. Making way for her is Francesca Granzotto.
Let's use it.
Well, that scrum not moving around as much as it previously has. Far side to McDonald.
Rip to the tackle.
What a great steal by Italy.
No.
They just need to back up these good moments, not pile more pressure on themselves.
Careful.
Roland can see space in the backfield. Is she eyeing up a 50-22? No, not going to get the bounce of the ball. Vittoria Ostuni Manuzzi is completely isolated there. Oh, battering ram Maud Muir. Plenty of white shirts. Up in the face there of Ostuni Manuzzi. She sees a bit of space in the backfield. Singh. McDonald. Play on the far side of the field then. And after that back and forth,
Marcus the line.
unsurprisingly, the territory battle is just edged by England.
Yeah, I think England have had 3/4 of that territory, haven't they, if not more. I think Italy have had a couple of entries into England's half. I don't think they've been in their 22, so it is really hard. I think the only thing to argue is around this wind. So that wind is definitely in England's favour at the moment, which is making it harder for Italy to exit.
Big run coming in, more forwards offering themselves. Need a little bit, you can just see Stevenin trying to get involved in there. The Valsugana player, she can play at centre or fly half, really useful player for them to have on the bench.
Use it.
Pressure by Galligan, you have to say. You can see a lot of Rosie Galligan and Zoe Orkoff just putting huge pressure on those Italian kicks.
Step back, step back.
Roland goes into play scrum half. Muir, Singh, Fernarti, Scorret. Crossfield kick from Scorret. Can Venner get there? Just a little bit too much on it. Hard to execute those, Katie Daly-McLean.
They are, and Emily Scorret will be really disappointed, but it's a nice play, isn't it? You know, she didn't have much of, everybody's quite flat there, so it's the best way to get the ball into space. England maybe just need to hold a little bit more depth in those wider channels because Italy are very, very narrow.
Vecchini with the long throw. Stevenin, Ragone. Stefan is there. Huge run coming in by Duca. She's so difficult to tackle, Duca. The problem here for Italy is they're just not going forward.
Backwards.
Turnover ball for England. Here they come again. Oh, Muir just shrugging off the shackles now. Oh, handed there by Ragone, but that will be a knock-on. Just a penalty, though.
Lots of cover outside, so no more than that. Did actually reach with two hands, although it was a penalty. Another chance for England to kick the corner, and I would imagine a catch and drive.
Mark, yeah. No contests.
Okay, big push now by the English forwards. That one is stopped, so they're going to have to go again. Fernarti. Here they go. Aitchison, she goes for the crossfield kick. Who's going to be underneath this one? McDonald is there. Straightens, drives, scores. A bonus point wrapped up on 28 minutes for England. We knew they would dominate this fixture, but a special moment for Claudia McDonald. Her first cap since 2023, coming back from injury and scoring again.
It's really well-weighted kick from Holly Aitchison there. Something that looks like Helena Rowlands had called it. Straight to her to give her a high five. Claudia McDonald, eyes on the ball. Again, awareness of that Italian defender coming across, just steps inside. But really, really lovely way. And something that no doubt the England backs are talking about and have identified that space that they're going to try and kick into.
Thank you, Zini.
That one just to the left-hand side of the uprights, but still a commanding lead for England.
Okay, when you're a player down anyway, and you're forced to defend a driven line out and then successive bursts from forwards, it's always going to drag outside players in, and that option is always going to be on, provided you can weight it properly.
Yeah, and they executed really well. I think the other option is potentially to go hands, but by going straight there with the kick, just makes it really hard for Italy to do anything about it.
Worth saying that's our first bonus point we've seen in this Six Nations campaign. France couldn't get one yesterday against Ireland, neither Scotland against Wales. And bonus points could count towards the end of this championship. Venner. Huge huge blast there. An opportunity here for Italy. They have an opportunity here to actually build a platform for an attack. Well, let's see where this lineup is. That was Italy's 4th turnover that they've won, and this is their first entry into the England 22.
It's a tough day at the office, isn't it? After 30 minutes, you haven't been your opposition's 22, but big opportunity. You know, the last line-out went really, really well, just to build something here and get through some phases.
Still down to 14, Vecchini gets it in cleanly, the maul is set up. She then goes and joins in. You can just see the look on their faces of how they're trying to get this one moving. Stefan can see Rigoni waiting. Right up into her face was Packer.
Advantage.
And that's penalty advantage to Italy as well. I think Packer just stuck on the floor there. I mean, when you are down 4 tries, kicking a post is pointless.
It is, but sometimes it's just good to get points on the board as well. I think it's the right decision. Look, Italy's line-out has functioned so much better this last 10 minutes. So, again, big opportunity for them. See there, Marley Packer just can't get out, isn't she? She's so quick off the line at the moment, make dominant hits.
Italy, 5 meters out, their best opportunity of the fixture so far. They didn't score against England last year. Is it in touch? Well done, Italy, for keeping that one in. They were nearly kissing the touchline. Still Italy ball. Still a chance. Round the corner goes Duca. Scorbini there as well. Pick and go.
Say what? Come again?
A meter to go. Stefan looks up. Stefanin is there. Still spinning ball. They're running out of players.
Advantage there. We go back for offside. Number?
Another penalty then against England.
Okay. You said what number, Jess?
And a third line-out opportunity.
Offside, please.
Well, Italy need to stay patient here.
Time off.
I can't see the point in moving the ball wide when they're a player down, especially. Much better if they've got the drive going forward to keep short and punching away at them. Although I think they are now back to a full complement.
Okay, so now they can attack with 15 players, but as Vittoria Vecchini makes her way off the field because they had to bring her on. That line-out throwing wasn't bad, was it?
Yes, there's a...
No pressure on the returning hooker then.
None at all. Well done, Vecchini. Back onto the field is Gurioli. She's played a little bit of Italian sevens in her time, but we're just waiting for a little bit of treatment here. Have to decide if this one can continue on the field of play or they'll have to go off for a blood substitution. So yeah, this fixture last year was played out in Parma. It finished 48-0 to England. 8 tries they scored in total, and we're saying they played out the majority of that fixture with only 14 women on the field. It was some opening performance. And it's just really how much the Italians will develop under Fabio Rosselli. If you're looking at that face and going, I know him from somewhere. Yes, he played in the '99 World Cup for Italy. He was also the coach recently with URC side Zebre. But he hasn't been with them long. And when you come in as a coach, Brian, it does take a while to get to know your side.
It does. It would 18 months, 2 years for you to make the fundamental changes you want. But he is at least working with virtually the same 15 or starting 23, so you'll be able to judge his effect more fully.
Well, Turani is all patched up and she's back involved. That is tracking nicely for Italy. Who's got it? At the back there, you can just see the ball is tucked under her shoulder. There's a knot of players and the try is given for Italy. What a moment for them. how long they have waited to score against that side. Enjoy it.
Well, they're delighted, and they should be, because that was a very well-worked, driven try. The important thing was set up properly, sealed off properly, ball to the back so it couldn't be interfered with by England, and then had the ability, the technical ability to keep the drive going and the patience to make it count.
Scalvini with the try then. Rigoni with the chance for another 2. Oh, she's just scuffed that. Katie, can you have a word with her kicking coach?
We've been practicing as well, which is even more awkward. But look, from Italy, this is great, isn't it? You know, third attempt, one where you could get in your own head, but they made a good decision. Bit of a shift there, Brian. They moved the ball. Much better execution from Italy.
I'm being mean to you there, Katie, but if people don't know, you do coach at Sale with Beatrice Rigoni. How many kickers do you work with at Sale?
Only a couple.
Of course, Katie, one of the all-time leading point scorers for England, alongside us here in commentary as England from the restart get the ball back straight away. Flat ball there to Aldcroft. Really flat pass. Venner does so well to stop that ball with her foot. Just showing such maturity. Coming back now through Rowland. Scorret there with the straighten. There's Scorret. Flat ball. Waiting out there is Marley Packer. Final pass is loose. England really happy to work through the phases. Something that was really noticeable in their last Six Nations campaign and at WXV as they try and break through is their handling. As Maud fresh from being player of the match in the PWR final, picks up where she left off. Singh Feinati! 5 tries for England. Still 4 minutes of the first half to play, and Feinati, number 8 suits her.
It does. I mean, it was again. Oh, hang on. I think we're going to go watch that again. She loses control there, doesn't she?
Well, the issue here is if we put it on the big screen, we know it's a long way away. Here comes the officials' workout. Half of the length of the field to the other. Off they go. Well, this is what they're going to go and look at.
Now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a knock-on over the line by Feinati.
Okay, I see a clear knock-on by white 8. We go back and we go have a goal line dropout. Okay, back to me, Zini. I've got a decision. Yeah. Okay, Zini, I've got a decision. Back to me.
On you now.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah.
Well, you've got to feel a little bit for the officials with this running up and down that they're doing and having to explain everything. So they're going to come all the way back for the knock-on over the line.
We've got a clear knock-on, so we're going to go back and start with the goal line here.
What I don't understand, Sarah, is you look at the board there, it is big enough to see from the opposite 22, especially with a knock-on like that. They need to run there.
No try.
This might be something that they actually look at, because of course we have said there are 6 World Cup games here later this year. Italy will actually be playing here against South Africa in Pool D. Don't know if organisers will be looking at another big screen somewhere ahead of that one happening.
Thanks for that.
Right then, we will restart then with a goal line dropout for Italy. Normally it's fullbacks who get a lot of metres in matches like this, but I think the officials might be able to match that this time. Right then, Scorret, Marley Packer. Muir. Cocaine. Lovely looping line that she takes. Plenty of players offering. Venner out again. Just too much to do there in too little space. And fair play to Italy for marking her off the field.
Time off.
I think we need to check on for decision be in touch, but let's check first.
So you're saying on field she's in touch?
Well, she hasn't even touched the ball down, so...
That's right.
Thank you.
It's actually ripped when he's on top.
10 back on.
So they are going to start then with the Italian line out. Sometimes when they're sneaky, there's just a little bit more fun. Total frustration there from Italy, but that is England's 5th try.
Well, when you have a player running an oppose at you at pace and you have to stay expecting the ball to be won by your side is almost impossible. Look, she gets the starting run up. They're never going to be there on time. It is this time the hooker, Gurioli's fault. Actually, it was a Tirani throwing the ball in there.
Sing them with the conversion. Her 4th attempt at goal. And that one straight down the middle. And England well over the 30-point mark now. Feeling confident as well. I found out the other day that Amy Cocaine's initials are AVFC, Amy Victoria Fiona Cocaine, and I can tell you her family are Aston Villa fans. It was done on purpose.
Got Tim.
Is she a Villa fan, though?
I hope so.
Backwards.
Little juggle, happy that it's backwards, our referee, that one. 30 seconds to go. Well done for holding on to that one, Granzotto. A little bit more of a spark around to this Italian attack. Stefan. Singh. Oh, that was high coming in there by Dinker. Not sure if they'll check that one in the bunker.
Sure. Okay.
Packer. Roland. And that is the half. It was as expected, a big performance from England, but Italy did get their try. Half-time, and it's England 33, Italy 5. Who's going to be underneath this one? McDonald is there, straightens, drives, scores! That is tracking nicely for Italy. Who's got it? And the try is given for Italy. Oh, Amy Cocaine is there. What a coach.
Yes, England leading by 33 points to 5. And Katie, they probably don't need an insurance policy, but if you look at that bench, Abby Ward, Sadia Kabea, and of course Ellie Kildare, do you think they will be used in this second 40?
Yeah, 100%. John Mitchell will use that bench. I think if you're Italy, like you say, World Player of the Year, Ellie Kildare. I mean, Emma Singh has not had a bad 40 minutes either, but Abby Ward, and I think it will make a massive difference. You know, the energy those girls will bring, the intensity that they will bring as well. Hannah Bottoman, big ball carrier. It's going to be a tough 40 for Italy.
And you feel like the game is starting to open up now, so I think that's the thing with Italy. We start to see them, they give that intensity in the first half, and that final sort of 20-30 minutes starts to spread the field. But England just have to now use their direct players, flood that bench, and actually try and lift the intensity to another level.
we can go back to commentary. And, of course, you'll join Brian Moore, Katie Daly-McLean when she gets up there, and Sarah Orchard.
Plenty of excitement still buzzing around this stadium in York. Plenty more rugby to go with 40 minutes of round one of the Women's Six Nations still to play. There are some big pockets in the crowd that you might notice as we get on with this second half that are wearing cowboy hats, and I think all of that will come down to the moment when Ellie Kildunn comes onto the field. There are a group of players that are known as the Cowboys that she, at the moment, along with Meg Jones, are sort of the leaders of that troop. And Ellie Kildunn, being a Yorkshire girl, I think will get quite the welcome. Right then, England waiting to get back underway in this second half. Helena Rowland there, just giving out the secret messages behind the ball. Italy waiting in formation on the left-hand side of the field. The score they got in that first half, vitally important to them, to know that they can flex when they need to against this absolute juggernaut world #1 side. Not the cleanest of restarts. England win it back. Gallagher again. Quite a number of the women out on the field that were involved in that PWR final. Just like Gallagher, don't know quite where they're getting the energy from. The Premiership Women's Rugby final was played last weekend at Saracen Stonex Stadium. And that is the end of the women's domestic season in England. As the high kick comes from Helena Rowland, just in play, lovely take by McDonald. Nice bit of synergy. But lost forward. And we restart then with an Italian scrum. And moments like that always chase the ball, have a go, you never know.
Markia?
Yes, completely. It was very strange from the kickoff from Italy there. Normally, sides line up 2s and 3s so they can be lifted in the air. The Italians in 3 rows meant effectively the person who was going to be receiving the ball was jumping from a standing start against players who are on rushing, which is a much more difficult thing to do. I really don't understand that at all.
Well, they'll reset that one. You can just see on this near side that Sara Tornesi is now onto the field. Montpellier player now, but previously at Sale.
Stay strong, both of you.
Just packing down there in that black scrum cap, Sara Sayet. Been at Ealing Trailfinders a couple of years now. Used to play her rugby at Wasps. And there's the drive from England. Once again, really good distribution. Rigone gets it out. Stevenin still onto the field. Cut back inside that time by Granzotto, who still travels on. Muzzo. We need more Italian players there. Scorret was alive to that. Great take. Italy almost isolated themselves, gifted the ball back to the Red Roses. Crossfield kick from Rowland. Underneath it is Aitchison, but no.
2 in front and always advancing. Where am I?
So the warning there, England not onside.
It's nice play, isn't it? I think England have got a really good balance. It's the wind, having been down pitch side, is actually really strong, so it'll have a big impact upon the kicking game. Interesting again that England have gone up to the sky as opposed to going long to territory. I think there's probably a bit of backfield space here, but this is a lovely way to kick by Helena Rowland. Again, I think it's Maud Muir there that's offside, but it's good, inventive play.
Just to explain, it's no good anymore just standing still. If you're in front of a kick, you actively got to get back onside.
No.
The line out when it goes long from Italy has functioned. They did slightly overcook the last one at the end of that first half. Driven on, Duca has it there. Dragoni, they're really soft. Stevenin once again. This is strong from the Italians. One of their best attacking sets still going this time. It's Granzotto. I think she'll be held up over the line. So we restart with a goal line dropout, but that was one of the best Italian attacks.
And I think Italy are really lucky there, because we clearly heard the referee shout tackle in the field of play. She's then carried over, so England haven't released the play. I think that's really unlucky for Italy not to have got a penalty there.
Keeping a close eye on where Helena Rowland ends up playing her rugby throughout this second half. There could be some chopping and changing throughout that England back line. We know that it was Rowland herself who put a hand up and said that she wanted to play 10. She's keen as mustard, but that was a goal line dropout, so that's a mistake there from Rowland.
It is, and one she will be super frustrated about. Helena is very, very good at detail, so really disappointed. It also shows the strength of the wind, because she's trying to drop that in the 5-metre channel. That clears the touchline by a good 5-6 metres there.
You've got to wonder though, Katie, haven't you? If you're only leaving a margin of error of 5 metres with a dropout, surely it's much more important to get the length on.
100%.
Here comes the Italian drive again. Arms, legs, pushing. Oh, a little bit of a snipe round the corner. Stefanan was inches away from dotting that one down. Italy have waited for over a match against England to score. Could 2 tries come along at once? They changed direction. Try given. Just on the line. I think it's Scorbini again. Just keep giving her the ball.
Be interesting to see that touchdown. I don't know if they're going to review it. Seems not. Can't hear anything from the referee. Good work for the Italians, certainly initially there. Interesting how they shifted when the drive was stopped, just slightly to the right, put England off the back foot. Ooh. On the line is there. Very close. Benefit of the doubt, yes.
Well, Scorbini makes her way. Only her second consecutive start in an H shirt, as once again Rugoni pushes that one to the right, but you have to say Emma Singh doing the right thing to put her off.
Yeah, lots of pressure there, and especially because she's quite close to the post. It means as soon as Emma Singh can start moving, as soon as Rugoni starts her approach there, putting her under a lot of pressure. But really good finish from Italy there, you know, capitalising. You're not going to get a lot of opportunities, so when you do get an opportunity, you've got to take the points, and they've done that really well again there.
Scorbini actually plays her rugby in France. A number of them do.
I'm coming to you.
Now we're going for a TMO check. After all of that.
Closing the window, the curtain, sorry, by blue 4.
Looking at obstruction by
And the
blue
line out.
4 in the line out.
Correct.
Okay, let me come to the screen.
Okay, number 4 for Italy is Valeria Federighi. So they're just going to have a look to see if she was obstructing England from getting to the ball.
Well, you can support, but you can't go in front. You can't go in front. Oh, yes. She's right round the front of the player, which stops the England players. In fact, there are 2 players there. They can support from the side and get bound.
Okay.
But they can't wrap themselves
I'm seeing
round
blue 4 coming right behind the jumper.
the front. There's 2 of them there.
For me, that's obstruction.
Provided they
Agreed,
come straight
yes.
down and keep their
Okay.
inside arms
Back to
on
Sydney,
this
I've got a
side.
decision.
Okay, but they're quite clearly
It's
around
number
there.
6, Precious.
Number
That's
6.
blue 6, thank
Okay.
you.
So we have obstruction by blue 6 in the line out.
Correct.
Thank you. No try. Blue 6 obstruction on the jumper, behind the jumper. Okay, thank you.
Well, that's just going to be a penalty, but a frustration then for Italy, who lose that second try and will come back, and no doubt England will try to make things right.
And look, the TMO in that instance is right. My question would be, does it need to take 3.5 minutes before we get to that point? Because it's taken a lot of the tempo and a lot of the energy. It's quite energy sapping for the players.
Yeah, and we did have a few moments like this as well yesterday in the match between Scotland and Wales as well. They're trying to see if they can speed things up.
Yeah, if it's that clear and obvious, then it's that clear and obvious. It shouldn't take that amount of time to get to that point.
Time off. 2 blue, substitution.
Okay, changes then for Italy here. We can hear going off the field of players Laura Gurioli. Coming on then is Vakini, who did have 10 minutes in the first half. She did pretty well as well, and she will resume.
Okay. Turn back on.
RAF officer Amy Cocaine gets the ball in. Packer, Roland. Aitchison, flat pass to Scorret, can't be taken.
Knock on by white, then by blue.
Well, we almost had some rugby breakout, but it's been a little while now. The concern is 7 minutes into the second half if both sides are going to settle here, Brian. And again, it's a scrum, and Italy know they've got to get this in and out quick.
Yes, handling errors, players overrunning slightly, aberrant kicks. It's time that one side, or in fact both sides, settle down, played some phases and kept the ball.
What will be interesting, again, with England is that we know they want to play contested, but if you've got a wind behind you, or in this sense, you've got a wind in front of you, you've got to find a different way.
Scorvini. They come out wide, Steven into the floor. Lots of bustle from both sides here as we wait then for Federighi to find some more support. This time going forward through Tonesi. Stay on the floor. They're trying to find options, and that was quite high going in there by Duca. Another drive on by Tonesi. Montpellier player really building up a head of steam. Now it's Turani. Little over the top, but too much on that one.
Goal line.
And another goal line dropout. It's almost as if Italy run out of ideas. They were going in the right direction.
Time off.
They were, and obviously that wasn't a planned move because no one was flat to take that. And bearing in mind the dead ball areas here are very small, you'd have to be absolutely precise, both in terms of the timing of your run and the kick.
I think you talked about at the end of the first half as well, Brian. It's just about patience. Just keep going through your phases. You're forward. Tonesi's making loads of meters for you. Just let her keep going. You don't need to kick possession away.
I tell you, as an outside back with 4 players outside you and 4 defenders in front of you, you wouldn't want the scrum half to make that decision for you, would you?
No, and those decisions, to be honest, the best ones are the ones that come in to out. They're from your wingers, call them, and then it's up to your half-backs to execute. In that instance, you probably just want a little tip, a little carry, because you're only 5-6 meters away there. You don't need to kick that ball away.
Well, if these two come onto the field, expect to cheer. 2 of the most popular players in the England squad. Sarah Byrne, Hannah Bottoman. I think it'll be Byrne who comes on first. You can see Bottoman there, just still with her subs top round her. She won't thank the director for that shot, but hey, happens to us all.
We're going to talk about our taping as well, Randy. Who made that decision?
Turn back on.
Okay, they're finally ready to get going. Roland then, goal line dropout. This one will stay in. Stefan. Little shuffle around from Veronese. Played in a couple of World Cups now, and she's still going. You can see her experience. Stevanin, Rigoni, Ostuni Manuzzi really running England ragged now. This is such a better second half then from Italy. Really pushing hard. They've had so much more possession in this second half.
No, leave it.
What can they do with it? Remember, only 1 win for them in the last 6 Nations. Well, they managed to win away in Ireland, but knocked on the ball again, and just that final execution fails them.
It did, but it's much better from Italy, though, isn't it? In terms of continuity, in terms of speed of ball, actually putting England under pressure.
England 1 and 3.
And I'm sure England, although they would like to win the game comfortably, they don't want a game where they're not contested. And here they come. Things are not going to get any easier when these two have come on for the Italians, let me say that.
Good shift by Clifford and Muir. And here are Bottoman and Byrne. England do have some riches when it comes to the front row. It is ridiculous.
They really do, and I think what I really like what John Mitchell's doing, it's about this kind of creating almost two packs. So the front row that are used to playing together, so these guys will know each other inside out. You come on for a scrum.
Well, they sound like a firm of IP lawyers. They don't look like that.
Let's see what Bottoman and Byrne have got up their sleeve on this one. Packer pushes it out to Rowland. Socks around her ankles, sends it into the front of the far stand.
I think that's a much better tactical decision from England. Execution wasn't great. I'm sure Helena would have wanted to hit 10s and halfways, but in terms of being a bit more pragmatic about their approach, getting out of their 22, Italy have had 80% possession over the last 10 minutes, so England need to get a foothold back in the game. They need some territory to be able to do that.
Ooh, big hand in there by Gallagher. Happy with that steal. Straightened again this time by Rowland. Bit of ricocheting as she works her way through some Italian shirts. Aldcroft. New captain has actually been battling away with a bit of a cold this week. Done so well to actually make it out onto the pitch after leading to Gloucester Hartbury to success in the league last weekend. Well, it's a bit of a pinball out there, but in the end it's Uramuzzo who has it. And it's a pile of spaghetti down there on the floor, but it's a pile of spaghetti with England ending up with a meatball.
Well, Italy got away with a bit of shepherding in front of Emily Scorret there, but they eventually paid for that. Just go back to the line-out, which Italy have just lost there. There were 3 players moving with dummy jumps, and the hooker is waiting and waiting and wondering which was going to go up, and eventually it went wrong because there's just far too many people doing far too many complicated things.
Well, we're going to see an England attack now at the other end of the field. It feels like some time that we've been looking in this direction. Just the pop down again, so England hold on to the ball. Huge thump going in on Rowland on that occasion as Packer comes back again. Bottoman. Byrne offering herself. Such a charging runner, good hands as well, used to play in the centres. Byrne refusing to be tackled. Aitchison, big pass out wide, Singh is there. Calm heads required from England. Aitchison with the long pass out wide. Bernardi is there. The Italians arrive. Can they stop her? Yes, they say welcome to touch.
Well, he would have put money on Bernardi getting there with the way she's carried the ball.
Italy thought about going quickly there, but I think Bernardi's just going to get a little bit of treatment. I think it's actually some cramp to her leg.
A little bit naive there for me, I think. Look, England played really well. Their approach play is lovely. It's a lovely ball over the top by Holly Aitchison. Emma Singh, ball in her 2 hands, makes Italian defenders make decisions. Really good clear by Emily Scorret there. Speed the ball Hannah Bottoman comes on, immediately makes a bust here, and it's a really good last man tackle. But as this play plays on, Italy again have got really narrow here. Ball's moved. I think as soon as that bounces, she has to step off that left foot and drive in. As soon as you start giving that opportunity for defenders to take you to the touchline, it becomes so easy to defend. She's got to drive in, she's got to use that power and split these two defenders. They get into, I think it's Dinker there, and drive forward, not out to that edge.
Katie, we were watching the ball come, and we were both shouting for it to come wide. But when the ball goes through the hands and you stay and you keep inside defenders honest and stay there, it doesn't create a 2-on-1. As soon as you make the decision for the person who's on the wing and miss everyone out, then everyone just drifts, and then it becomes a battle against how many players get there as a defender.
It does, and I think because the ball bounced as well, it just gives defence more time, doesn't it? That goes straight at hand, it's maybe a straight run to the corner. As soon as it bounces, she's got to be smart there, she's got to drive in, she's got to stay away from that touchline.
Marley Packer, vice-captain now for England, takes a seat. Sadia Kabea into the fire.
Okay, time back on.
Marley Packer still waiting for her 50th cap in an England shirt. Stuck on 49 for now. Should say tries, not caps. 49 tries. Bottoman. There's Marley Packer. Marley Packer got her 100th cap in this fixture this time last year. Big penalty though for Italy.
Sadia Kabea there, wasn't it, with the double roll. Obviously once you tackled, you land, you can't then roll. Sadia rolls, and it's an easy decision for the referee to allow Italy to relieve some pressure.
The reason for that being illegal is players who are on the floor are deemed not to be involved in the game, and you're not supposed to contest with them. So if you effectively crawl or roll on the floor, it means that you're out of play.
Stops the jackal as well, doesn't it? Which is what we want. We want a competition at the breakdown. As soon as Sadia lands, she's got to present.
Well, we're just waiting for some treatment here to be completed for Italy before they can actually get back going. It's worth knowing that although we said Italy finished 5th in the recent Six Nations, they have been higher up the table, all the way up to 2nd back in 2019. They have had their moments in this competition. In recent years, it's all been about the depth of their competition, particularly their domestic club sides. We do know that more of their regular season games now being shown on terrestrial television. As Helena Rowland just gets a little bit of treatment there. But at the moment, it's whether there's enough investment into the players. I mean, 25 of them have full-time contracts that roll on every year. But you do just feel they need that bit more depth.
100%, and I think it's also stability. You know, year on year these contracts are changing, and these girls have lives. They need that security to be able to invest in this Italian side.
Muzza. Started all the tests for Italy last year. Can she repeat the trick in 25 as the ball is lost backwards? Rigoni gathers. Haven't really seen any Rigoni magic that we're used to so far in this fixture. She can pull some pretty special things out of the hat when the occasion arises.
Use it.
Well, Stefan sends that one flying through the Yorkshire sky. Singh happy to receive. We could see that was coming for Scorret. Knows to take it back inside. Would have been all on her own in an island if she hadn't. Well, that's Scorbini again, who is alive to everything in this fixture. Only her 29th cap. She's 24 years old, but she's certainly sparkling for the Italians.
So you were talking about Rigoni and the magic she can do with the ball in hand, but I'm also surprised that given the wind is in their favour, and it's quite strong by all accounts, Katie, she's got a prodigious boot on her as well, and it would be a good option for them simply to get her to kick for territory.
100%, especially if you look at the quality of the turnover there, with the opportunity to try and pin England back in the corners. England then have given 9 penalties, so Italy all have an opportunity to kick in and use this line out.
Tap back down for England. Worth saying, we have not had a score so far in this second half. Byrne.
Taken back.
Roland. Nice take there by Granzotto. Stevan in. Tirani. Confusion on the floor. We'll restart then, and I think they needed a set piece there just to tidy a few things up. We can see more players still warming up out on the far side, waiting to come onto the field. Referee just looking over to see if anyone's coming. Not yet, they say.
It's the second Amy Kane again, another rip in there. Look, players falling. It's just smart, isn't it? Ball ripped. Usually that potentially could have been a play on as opposed to a scrum.
Abby Ward, Bristol captain, getting ready.
Katie, what do you think accounts for the lack of points, the lack of precision in England in this half?
I don't think they're getting enough territory, if I'm honest, Brian. They keep putting balls to the air in their half, kick long, which we know they can. See what you can do and go pressure them.
Great hands by the England backs. Venner hasn't been able to get as much ball in this second half as she enjoyed in the first. Fernati. Oh, and here comes Singh. She's broken away. She was looking for support. McDonald. Gallagher. Here we go. Byrne.
Let out.
Already carried 4 times, Byrne. Only just been on the field. Good charge down by the Italians. Hacked on this time by Dinker. And just casually ushered out of play there by Helena Rowland. And all of that field position that England gained, lost in a second.
And Katie, that's one of those things that coaches will be looking at closely, because once you made a break into the backfield,
England,
all
10,
the defenders are turned.
4 and
That's
2.
where you expect to be able to put those chances away.
10.
It's interesting watching England. It's whether they've come in with a plan, because they've definitely kicked possession away.
Okay, few changes here. Coming onto the field to play for her debut, Jade Shekels. Now she's coming on for Helena Rowland, but they'll just swap things around. So we'll see Holly Aitchison move into 10 there. And here comes Abby Ward. She actually made her debut back in 2015, so 10 years at the Test coalface. And there's little Hallie, her daughter, cheering on. What a mum she has. Don't forget, Mother's Day next weekend, everyone. Get your cards and gifts ready. Public service information over as Italy come on the drive once again over into the 22. You can see on the field there is Giada Franco, who's now onto the field. Big moment for her. We're saying she hasn't played for Italy now since 2023, had a terrible knee injury against Wales. Great to see her back on the field.
Yeah, and she's so talismanic for Italy, you know. Before she got injured, she was the player, the face of Italian rugby. Very confrontational, great ball carrier, very physical. So, like you say, she's had a terrible injury, so it's great to see her back, and hopefully she'll build some form in the build-up to the World Cup.
She's a big personality as well.
She is, and you know, when you've got her, you've got Sarah Tanesi in there, just changes the dynamic of that Italian back row. Scorbini's gone so well. To have like-minded players with the same physical capability will be huge for Italy.
Sorry, let's have it again. Move in.
Well, the crowd were just getting into that, and then we had a reset, so we go again.
This is an area I'd like to see officials speed up. No, I mean, at least in terms of commanding players to get down and get ready and get going quicker.
I agree, along with the TMO.
You just saw a little flash there of Lily Ives Campion, who's been kept on there in that second row. The Loughborough lock, only her second cap as the ball comes away again through Fairnarty for the Red Roses. Sarah Byrne shuffling along, taking every metre she can. Stuni Manuzzi trying to find a pathway into that England 22. Marisa Valsugana, but that's stolen, and it's Fairnarty. Popped off to Venner. She hacks on the ball, but that one's gone straight out to play, and they will come back.
What do you think John Mitchell will be thinking at this time?
Do you know what I was just going to ask you, Brian? I think it must be really interesting from a coach, right? England have come out with a set game plan. We're seeing them kick to contest. They're putting the ball in the air. However, probably we would agree that it's not working. It's a great strip there from, I think it's Willie Gallagher again, and a great break. But at what point do the players decide, look, we need to do something different because actually the game plan probably isn't working right now?
Bikini gets in. Rigone. Stefan. Charging run by the Italian forwards, trying to find space. Eventually it's hacked on ball, but it's straight out of play.
But on that, I think that was a better tactical decision, you know. Backfield space, yes, execution wasn't great, but the space was there. She got her head up, she was on the move. 5 metres, that's a great bounce, and it's a pressurised line out here. You see the space there. Mia Werner's having to work really, really hard there, but that bounces in. It's a very good kick, potentially 50-22.
Big moment then for May Campbell on this near side touchline. She'll have to wait to take her first line out as there's more changes here for Italy. You can see coming on is Emmanuel Stecker, but also Alia Betonci comes on, making her Italian debut now. She is only 18 years old. I was told by the Italian press officer this week she is the first Italian player, male or female, who was born in 2006, for anyone who wants to feel old.
Wow.
Well, May Campbell hits her arrows. For the time being, May Campbell is doing so well in this squad. She's keeping Harlequins' Connie Powell out of an England shirt for now. Such has been her performances in the league this season. That's lost forward by England. And we still haven't had a score in this second half.
Well, I was just going to say, the last 10, 12, 15 minutes from England have been very average. Apart from the runs which the bench players brought on, Bottom and Byrne and so on, the rest of the game has been frustratingly inexact.
And I think that's what the difference is, isn't it? When we talked about England in the first half, they were comfortable with the ball, they went through phases, they were winning the collision, they had really good ruck speed. At the moment, it's been, like you say, very stop-starty, kicking a lot of ball away, not a lot of territory, and not really getting an opportunity to go through those phases to pressure Italy and squeeze their defence.
Bang on the halfway for Italy to launch an attack. Bikini's managed to work her way round. That one's still happily moving along. Here we come then through Betonci. Huge pressure coming in. Jade Shekels there couldn't quite get the outcome she wanted. Out towards the far side. Italy still going and heading in the right direction. Lost forward. Can England use this advantage? Cabella, oh, nearly stolen. That would have been nice by Dinker, but we were playing England advantage, and she knocks on the ball in the process, so it's an England penalty.
from where you are.
Again, a bit laboured from England, to the extent to which she identified that there could be an interception. Just like to see more phases at the moment.
Yeah, they don't look connected, do they? Like, there's a couple of backs out there, forwards, and lots of forwards in front of the ball. She's unlucky. If she gets two hands to that, you're not catching her.
It's Alicia Dinker's birthday today, as is it John Mitchell's. Fascinated to know what the England coach will be doing now. Jade Shekels there was tackled. If she wants to go again, she's got to let go of the ball before she goes again. Holds up her hand. She is on debut here.
And it's a nice little first phase, isn't it? Good running lines, flat to the line. Gets a half scrag there. Like you say, if she just lets go of that, she's absolutely fine to do that, and she's got the pace.
Jade Shekels, one of the Great Britain team that went to the Paris Olympics for the Sevens last summer. And the cheer that's going up from the crowd is because one of Yorkshire's finest is onto the field. There's a few of them out there, but at World Player of the Year right now, a hugely popular character, and as I said, the cowboy hats in the crowd are for her.
She's also gone onto the wing. Emma Singer's stayed at fullback, so that'll be really interesting to see how Ellie Kildone goes on that wing.
No.
Well, Italy are back into the England 22. Also see that Flo Robinson is on for her debut at scrum half. She nearly made a debut back in 2021. Long story, but the floodlights went out in France. Nobody had a coin for the metre and the game had to be abandoned. True story.
Remember that game?
Ball comes back now for Stevanin. Now, can Italy just hold on to this and keep doing what they're doing? No silly mistakes. Franco. This time Duca is ready, makes another metre. Bikini involved in that one. Also won it was Franco. This is slow. If you don't like the dark arts of what forwards get up to, sometimes you might get frustrated, but it's working for Italy. Rigoni on that one. Dinker now, birthday girl on the ball. The patience here from the Italians. It's loose on the floor, a bit of a mess, and it's an England penalty. England survive again.
I gotta push it. You can't kick it through.
Hannah Bottoman over the ball there. So good in that position, so strong and so hard to move.
Well, it's a tremendous kick, and England need it. Got the feeling in the last 10-15 minutes that Italy, unlike the first half, when they were definitely losing the battle to contact in and around the breakdown, we just started to even that.
Campbell gets the ball in once again. Flo Robinson under a bit of pressure there, the Exeter woman. Robinson finds Aitchison, popped off to Shekels.
No.
Aitchison, Scorret, nice then to Singh. They're flooding the left channel, back inside then to Kildone. Bottoman, Aitchison, Shekels again. You can see her strength already. Byrne, sit down. Oh, Sarah Byrne, what are you doing to these Italians? They'll have nightmares about that. That's her sixth carry, making meters all the time. Pushed out towards the far side. Is this the try the second half has been waiting for? Sadia Cabello goes again. How hard did England have to work in the end to get that?
Well, they did, but the important thing is that they did the work. They didn't panic. They went through the phases as we said they might do. That's a tremendous carry, isn't it? And the important thing is, once you get behind the defence, then you've got to have the patience and you've got to have the precision to make sure it counts, not to panic.
She had a lot to do this, Sarja Kabea, didn't she? 10 metres out, about 5 defenders.
She did, and Italy will be disappointed, and they should be disappointed with the number of... Oh, here we go.
Oh, not again. We're going for a TMO
forward
review.
pass, yeah, that's forward. Yep.
Okay.
Does it come out of the hands forward? Yes, it does.
Yeah, I see it.
Those are your best angles.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
She clearly passes it forward. Yeah, the hands.
So scrum, blue ball, 5 metres from halfway.
Okay, thank you. Okay, back to me, Zini. I've got a decision.
You're on screen now.
Okay, so we've got a clear forward pass from the hands. We're gonna go back, no try. Tell me where we are, Zini.
You're 5 metres from the halfway.
A clear forward pass. A clear forward pass. So we're gonna go back here.
Here.
Yeah, scrum.
12 white.
Okay, so
Yeah,
still
forward
no
pass.
score then in this second half. We all got far too excited. Maybe the second half doesn't need a score. We shall see. Right then, the scoreline remains. England 33, Italy 5, 8 minutes to go.
Okay. Coach!
So a reminder that, of course, in the World Cup, Italy will be back here. They are in Pool D. They've got France, South Africa and Brazil all in the mix with them. And they made it to the quarterfinals of the World Cup in New Zealand, the first Italian side to ever achieve that, male or female. And if this second half is anything to go on, they're building something. But that is a huge tackle.
Offside. Offside.
Taken quickly then by the Italians, who are sniffing something here. Lovely hands. Oh, Stini Manuzzi, that's backwards. Just appealing for it there was Guy Maris. Once again, over the top of the ball. The jackling from England has been something special today, and it's burn again.
One of the reasons I think Italy have had a better second half, and that's not just because of the wind, is in the first half, England's defence was so dominant that it drove them backwards. In this half, I think they've managed to get at least parity in the contact, and that's made the ball come slightly quicker for them.
Saracens, Campbell finds Aldcroft, Aitchison, McDonald, right through the guts of the park there.
No, it's fine, plan!
Italy told to get out of there. Pushing towards the edges of the pitch, Fernati straightens again. She has been everywhere today. Of course, Alex Matthews, who frequently wears 8 for England, she actually picked up a 3-match ban from a high tackle in the PWR final. Could be reduced to 2 games if she completes tackle score. Means the earliest you might see her in this Six Nations will be against Ireland in round 3.
Taken back.
Nice take by Kildan on the shoulder. McDonald passes out to Shekels. Well, John Mitchell wanted to see how strong she could be, Shekels, and she's certainly shown that. He's looking for another 12 in the mould of Tatiana Hurd. Still England ball. Aitchison, Scorret, goes back towards where she knows where the extra support is. What a run.
Forward there.
But it's forward again. Sorry, Hannah.
Thanks, yes.
She can't believe it.
Forward.
Well, that was the moment. Right, while they reset and get ready to go with this scrum, let's have your player of the match, please, Katie Daly-McLean.
So I chatted to my friend here, Brian, and there's a couple of mentions. We thought Rosie Gallagher went extremely well. I thought Emma Singh at fullback has been really, really bright. Yeah. But our woman of the match today is that lady on your screen, Maddie Fainarty. You know, she's had top carrier, 14 carries. She's made 104 metres, 15 tackles as well. Been extremely busy in a lot of England's good stuff. That lady's featured prominently. So really strong performance in that 8 shirt today.
And your choice has got a round of applause, which is quite good, because a lot of choices for player of the match do not get wide acclaim.
Technically it's yours, but I'm going to steal it anyway.
I have to also say, Maddie Fainarty, it's only her 11th cap today. She's still very young at 22 years old. She's one of 4 sisters. Her younger sister Zara also at Exeter as well. Plenty more to come from her, and still only at the start of her career. Could have represented Samoa, could have represented New Zealand, but said when she started on that England pathway, it felt right.
Look, it's great, and I think she's a very similar mould to Alex Matthews, isn't she? She's physical, she's dominant, she's pacey, looks very comfortable in those wide channels. So I think to have 2 8s of that quality is it's great for England, and especially one at the younger end of the ladder. Not calling Alex old, by the way.
Scorvini.
Is that the score after?
So still no score in this second half. Everything has been
Stop.
rubbed out, scrubbed off. I can't tell you how popular Ellie Kildun is in this stadium each time she touches the ball. It's fantastic. Robinson. Bottoman waiting for a little bit of support. Aitchison takes herself into contact. Cabella, try denied. Byrne not expecting that, but takes it in the end. And Kildun just tiptoeing there on the line, does so well to keep that in. Wonderful play.
No. Out of there, no, even 90.
Nice run there by Ives Campion. Going the full distance here on her second cap. Popped off to Ward. That one ends up going out of play on the far side. And we restart then with an England platform. Nice position for them to try and do something.
It's a nice bit of skill there, isn't it, from Shekels, just in behind the defender, trying to commit 2 defenders. Gets it offloaded to Abby Ward.
Fainarty, player of the match. Cabella. Shekels offering herself. Happy to do a bit of the dog work as well. This is all power. Bottoman. Was that high? Byrne. Sarah Byrne building up ahead of steam now. Popped off. Scorret inside. Singh scores. And finally, have we got a try in the second half? We've said it before. Could this be the one?
We'll have to wait at least 4 minutes. It was better by England. The build-up play, the approach play. Like so you mentioned there, the physicality of the forwards, the Bottomans, the Burns, all from this line out though. It's just Fainarty again, in behind, nice offload. This is England of the first half, comfortable ball in hand, just drawn in. You can see, 10 Italian defenders there, and then it's just a race to space, isn't it? Emily Scorret doing what she does so well, running straight, fixing defenders. No opportunity for a defender there to slide off, and Emma Singh gets the walk in.
But one of the things that made ground from the initial burst was the fact that Ellie Kildare, most people would have spotted this, was in the defender's left-hand side. You could see her as a possible recipient of the ball. That meant she didn't get the full tackle on the runner. That meant the ball came quicker. That meant the defence was turned.
No conversion for Emma Singh for her own try, and we will have time for a restart. Italy making their way down the field. You do feel maybe they could have got more out of this second half, but they've really turned it on in this second 40. Restart then by Campomaggi. Perhaps not what was wanted.
Just like, yeah. Did it? No.
It's our line now, it's our line now.
So it went 10?
Okay, so we're going to finish this test then with a May Campbell line-out throw. England have got a long way to travel down the field if they're going to do something with this one.
Okay.
Tight at the front, taken by Ward. Aitchison, Shekels. You cannot underestimate how significant those meters are when they're made through that midfield. Bit of a juggle there. Advantage now to the Italians. Are they going to finish this match off? Dinka manages to find more forward ballast. Bitonci with the distribution, finds Franco. Bitonci again.
Advantage over.
Clock well into the red now.
Tackle.
England will be defending for everything. They only had 5 tries scored against them in the whole of the Six Nations last season. Averaging 1 a game. They will not want that statistic to change in the wrong direction. Stevenin can't quite take pressure coming in by Cabella.
No, leave it right.
It's a penalty to Italy.
You are fine, 18.
And they're going to go quickly here, Italy. Not interested in setting up the line-out.
No hands.
Bitonci again. Quick hands then, Stevenin. I mean, they're making ground here, Italy, but we're talking inches. Scorbini.
Leave it right.
A real flying attack from her. Could do some damage, but that's been dropped forward by Italy. And that is it. The reigning champions set off on the 2025 campaign with yet another win. Italy did have a bit of fight in them, but ultimately it was the result that was expected. It finishes in York, England 38, Italy 5.
Congratulations to England. They follow France and Scotland with wins on the opening weekend of the Women's Six Nations Championship. We'll get all the reaction from York over on the iPlayer very shortly. It's Wales-England next weekend at the Principality Stadium. But now we're going to another cathedral of sport.